I'm on the path to success. To success, I'm on the path to success. You can see the pain, you can see the stress. I'm on the road to the riches, on the path to success. To success, I'm on the path to success. To success, I'm on the path to success. I know it's hard, try stacking and struggle. Money, throw that cash in the duffel bag. Dreams ain't yet with, recession's here now, it's after me. I know it's hard, try stacking and struggle. Y'all got that money, throw that cash in the duffel bag. Dreams ain't yet with, recession's here now, it's after me.
We're back. You're listening to Radio Uprising, the show that gives you voice to the next generation on 91.3 FM WVKR, Independent Radio Poughkeepsie. Today we've been talking about texting and cell phones.
So, we've definitely talked a lot about the negative side of texting and cell phones, but what about the positives? What are some good side effects and usages of texting and cell phones? Remy?
Well, I think texting is very quicker than calling somebody. You don't have to wait for them to pick up, because I'm sometimes wanting to get through to my dad, and my dad might be driving or his phone might be off. If I text him, next time he turns on his phone, he gets the text.
Yep.
When he looks at his phone, he gets the text, so I can still get through to him. So I can text whenever I can call, but I can text more times than when I can call.
Good point. John?
It's very efficient because it's quicker. You don't really have to, as Remy said, you don't have to have the time, like, at the same time as the other person you're trying to contact doesn't have to have their phone open. And it's quicker just because it's, like, shorter. It's more to the point, I think.
I would agree. Rachel?
It's definitely more succinct than having an actual conversation, because sometimes you really do need the answer then and now, and you don't have time to engage in the formalities of a regular conversation on the phone. And when you're trying to multitask and you're talking, I find if I'm doing homework and actually talking on the phone with someone, I can't do it. I'm either talking or I'm doing homework.
Yep.
But talking, or texting rather, while doing something like homework is much easier, because a text message just takes like 10 seconds out of your time, and then I'm back to my work, and it's just more efficient for me to text than it is to talk.
Yeah, I would agree. I definitely find that I use texting because I can text my friend in the morning about something later on, and it's just, we can set up dinner without having to take time out of our day. And things like that. It's just really convenient. Also, since I'm here at school and I live in Massachusetts, I text my parents all the time, which at first was kind of weird, but now it's so normal. And just tell them little things that, like, I don't need to call them about, because that takes, like, 15 minutes out of my day now. It's just, quick, let them know what's going on. And I do think that I kind of love when I just, like, don't text for a whole day. I went a week without texting this summer. It was interesting. But it's really nice sometimes to escape technology. But I do think that texting and cell phones are a good thing in general. So, thanks for sharing your opinions.
Let's listen to another youth-produced piece. This one is called Tech Addiction. Remember to call us with your opinions at 845-437-7178.
My topic is on internet addiction and how it affects your life. Internet addiction is when you become accustomed to the internet and are online frequently. Internet addiction can be linked to problems such as deteriorating relationships, a reduction in school performance, and an increased chance of experiencing mental health disorders. Internet addiction also supports a growing problem of online gambling. Online gambling causes numerous problems that involve family, friends, money issues, and the gambler's personal health. Online gambling has affected numerous people across the country and around the world. Why so serious? Man, I'll tell you why it's so serious. People who gamble may have an increased chance of committing or attempting suicide. The suicide rate for frequent gamblers is 20 times higher than for someone who does not gamble. 1 in 5 gamblers attempt suicide. Most gamblers start off as an innocent teen. Teens are online at least 93% of the year. Teens start off as normal internet surfers and become used to talking online rather to their friends in real life. So they become internet addicts. All it takes for a teen to get addicted to gambling is one online gambling game. Gambling among teenagers is increasing between 42% through 76% in the last 10 years. I believe that more attention should be brought to this problem. What do you think?
Welcome back. This is Radio Uprising. You just heard a piece called Tech Addiction.
So early in the show, we talked about how texting is distracting and shouldn't be permitted in the classroom. But what about other forms of technology? With the widespread availability of internet, should computers be used in the classroom? Should teachers worry about students getting distracted by the internet during class and checking Facebook and their email and Twitter and all those other things? John?
I know a lot about this because in our school we have computers in our school and we use it a lot. It can be a distraction having the internet, but it does help a lot because we use like Google Docs and stuff, and it's easier than handing in a piece of paper. You can't say, "Oh, I lost and my dog ate it," because
true. And environmentally friendly to do everything online.
There's more green and there's it's just generally easier and quicker, just like kind of like texting, but it is a big distraction having the internet.
Good point, Remy.
Well, I go to the same school as John, and computers are required for 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders at our school. And the 6th graders, I don't do this, but I see other people doing it. We're new to computers, having our own computers, and some people take advantage of that and play games while the teacher says have your computer open and be doing this, and then they don't get the work done. And then they can't interact with other kids and like check their work with other people. And also to John's point, it is much more efficient to be working online because you can look up stuff. You have like dictionaries everywhere, so you don't have to go flipping through a real dictionary, which takes a lot of time. And Google Docs, I use that a lot. It's really cool, has spell check. But unfortunately with spell check, I found that I've actually gotten worse at spelling.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I rely on spell check, not using my brain.
Yep.
But I think it's good to have computers.
Okay. Rachel?
I go to Rosie Ketchum, and we don't have individual computers. We have a computer lab. If we were to have individual computers, I don't think it would be too much of a problem in terms of internet distraction, because any website like Facebook, Twitter, any gaming website, everything is blocked unless it's an academic website.
Interesting.
But I feel like it might be really beneficial to have kids start out with their own computer at a young age, because I'm going to college next year and I'm not really familiar with Google Docs or a bunch of different ways to utilize the internet to my biggest advantage. I don't even know how to take notes on a computer unless it's just regular typing. So I feel like in some ways I'm at a disadvantage because I haven't been able to use one.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Remy.
Oh, my dad has been talking to me about how he's like, do you know how to use PowerPoint? Do you know how to use Excel? Like, I made my schedule for school on Excel. I make PowerPoint presentations for science and stuff. He was talking about he goes sometimes to Hartford for business, and some of his clients, they're grown-ups, they work in their jobs, they don't know how to use PowerPoint, they don't know how to use Excel. So he was talking about how it's sort of good that we have computers at our school, because like Rachel said, at a young age, we're learning how to use all these computer programs, and in the future, we're going to be using them, so it'll be helpful.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I know this is something that's discussed even through a young 6th grade age, all the way through college, because this is something my professors talk about too. So, thanks everyone. This has been an awesome show, and we're going to end this edition of Radio Uprising with another round of our awesome theme song. We'd like to thank Children's Media Project and all of our staff and youth producers there. We'd also like to thank Vassar College and our youth DJs for the day. Does anyone have any other shout-outs? Remy?
I I'd like to give a shout out to my parents, my sister, and my grandparents. I know that the DJ told me that Dada, you called, and thanks for calling. And
Yeah, thank you.
it's a good excuse that you're going to get texting, because then I'll get texting too.
There we go. Rachel?
First, I'd like to say happy 18th birthday to my best friend, Jose. And
Yay.
second, I would like to congratulate my other friend, Allison, for being accepted to the Culinary Institute of America yesterday. She's wanted to go there since 4th grade, and I am extremely happy for her.
How exciting. And I think we need to give a shout out to Mary Ellen. She's not here today.
We miss you. Hello.
All right.
That's it for this week, folks. Thanks for listening to Radio Uprising on 91.3 FM WVKR Independent Radio. Tune in next week for more youth-produced radio, and don't touch that dial, because Activist Radio is up next.
Wow, CMP, WVK, wow, 1.3 FM, we here and we back, with statistics and facts, addressing all the problems that communities have. What's the issue, address it, you can learn from your lesson. Radio, rise and prepare for the session. We here and we back, with statistics and